Good morning students. Today let us see predictive parser for an expression grammar. Okay, the expression grammar is E tends to E plus T, E tends to T, T tends to T star F, T tends to F tends to open bracket E close bracket, F tends to ID. Okay, step 1. Step 1 is elimination of left recursion. Step 1 is elimination of left recursion. Okay, we are supposed to eliminate left recursion, right? So left recursion means, so step 1 is elimination of left recursion. So the formula for left recursion is A tends to A alpha or beta, then right, A tends to beta A dash, right, and A dash tends to alpha A dash epsilon, right? So this is a formula for elimination of left recursion. First let us take the two productions. E tends to E plus T, E tends to T. Here A is E, alpha is plus T, and in the production E tends to T, beta is T. After we eliminate the left recursion, we get E tends to beta E dash, that is your T E dash, right, and E dash tends to alpha is plus T E dash, and E dash we have introduced, so we will have epsilon. Similarly for the next two productions, right, T tends to T star F and T tends to F. After we eliminate the left recursion, we will get T tends to Ft dash, right, and T dash tends to star F T dash and then epsilon. Okay, the last two productions remains the same. So after we eliminate the left recursion, we are getting this production. So let us complete the other productions also. So let me write the leftward productions. Okay, so after elimination of left recursion, we have got the above productions. Next step is I should compute first and follow. So let me compute. Second step is I should compute first and follow. Okay, so to compute first and follow, right, first let us write the table. So we have the non-terminal E, E dash, T, T dash, and then F. So I should compute first and then I should compute the follow. Okay, let us draw the line neatly. Okay, now come here. Now E tends to T, E dash. So in the first production, first of T will be in E, right? Then come to the second production. E dash tends to plus T E dash. Now plus will come in E dash. Then you have the other production, E dash tends to epsilon. Epsilon will come in E dash. Then T tends to Ft dash. So first of F will come to T, right, and then T dash tends to star Ft dash, so star will come in T dash, then epsilon will come in T dash because you have T dash tends to epsilon. F tends to open bracket E close bracket, so open bracket will come in F and ID will come in F. Now we have seen the third production T tends to Ft dash, so whatever is there in first of F, open bracket ID will come to T, and we saw the production E tends to T dash, whatever first is available in T, open bracket and ID will come to E. That's all. So it's very simple. We have completed first. So as per the algorithm, the first symbol will be put in the respective non-terminal. Okay. So E tends to T dash. Whatever is there in first of T will come to E. E dash tends to plus T dash. Plus will come in E dash. E dash tends to epsilon. Epsilon will come in E dash. T tends to ft dash. Whatever is there in f, that will go to first of T. T dash tends to star ft dash. Star will be put in first of T dash. T dash tends to epsilon. Epsilon will be put in first of T dash. Now open bracket will go to first of f and id will go to first of f. Now next follow algorithm, right? We are supposed to put, right, we are supposed to put dollar. We are supposed to put dollar in the starting symbol. So I have put dollar, right, and then in the right hand side of the production, anything that follows a non-terminal, right? So A tends to alpha, B beta, right? Now first of beta we will put in follow of B. Let us take the first production. E tends to T dash. Now T is B, beta is E dash. Now first of E dash will be in follow of T. So T is followed by E dash, right? So plus will come in T. Now in the second production also we have the same concept, T E dash. Now in the third production ft dash. Now T dash will come in F. T dash star. Star will be put in F. Right. In the fourth production I have ft dash. Right. Similarly star will go to F follow. Now in the fifth production E is followed by close bracket. So close bracket will come to the non-terminal E. So we have applied the second step of the follow algorithm. The third step is, if I have A tends to alpha, B, beta, and beta is a non-terminal and it leads to epsilon, then I'll get a new production A tends to alpha, B. Or if I have a production which ends with the last symbol as non-terminal, then put follow of A in follow of B. So we should put follow of A in follow of B. Right. Now what will happen is, now E tends to T dash. Follow of E will go to follow of E dash. So dollar and closing will come here. Right. And then T tends to ft dash you have. Right. Now in T tends to ft dash, whatever is available in T will go to T dash. Before that we'll apply this concept. Now see, E tends to T dash. Right. Now E dash leads to epsilon. So I get the new production E tends to T. Now follow of E will be in follow of T. Now dollar and closing will go to T. Okay. So because of this E dash leads to epsilon, I have got a new production E tends to T. So I have got a new production. Now the follow of E has gone to follow of T. Now in the third production I have T tends to ft dash. So follow of T will go to follow of T dash. So plus dollar closing will come here. Now similarly in T tends to ft dash. Now T dash leads to epsilon. T dash leads to epsilon. Okay, T dash leads to epsilon. So I get the new production T tends to F. Okay, put follow of T in follow of F. Right. So follow of T is what? Plus dollar closing. So that's all. Follow is over. Right. So I repeat the follow. The starting symbol will have the dollar. Then in the right hand side of the production, whatever follows the non-terminal, that will come in the follow of the non-terminal. Then if you have a production A tends to alpha, B, beta, beta is a non-terminal and it leads to epsilon, you will get the new production. Or if you have a production in your grammar where the last symbol is a non-terminal, then follow of A will go to follow of B. right? So here E tends to T dash. I have made E dash as epsilon, so I got the new production E tends to T. Similarly, T tends to F T dash. T dash leads to epsilon, so I get the new production T tends to F. Actually, in E dash tends to plus T E dash also. E dash leads to epsilon, so I get E dash tends to plus T as a new production. So in both E tends to T and E dash tends to plus T, follow of E will go to T. So same thing will come in the follow of T. Now similarly for T dash, I have star F T dash. If T dash leads to epsilon, I get the new production T dash tends to star F. So since already we have got T tends to F, right? T dash tends to star F, both will be same, right? So please students, you are supposed to know the new production, only then you can apply the third step, only then the follow algorithm will get completed. Now next is the predictive parsing table. Next is the table. Okay, predictive parsing table. For constructing predictive parsing table, you should have non-terminal and the terminals, right? You should have the non-terminals and the terminals. So what are all the non-terminals? E, E dash, T, T dash, then F. Okay, okay, E, E dash, T. Then what are the terminals available? ID, then I have plus, then I have, excuse me students, I have plus, then I have star, then I have open bracket, then I have close bracket, then I have dollar. Okay, so let me draw the predictive parsing table first. Okay, you call this table as M of non-terminal comma terminal. Okay, now so you got first symbol as closing bracket and ID in E. Why you got closing bracket and ID in E? Because of E tends to TE dash, because of this production. So for E, for open bracket and ID, I should write E tends to T E dash. Okay, E tends to T E dash. Okay, now next E dash tends to plus, and you have here E dash plus and epsilon as first symbol. Why you got plus? Because of E dash tends to plus T E dash. So E dash tends to plus T E dash. Why you got epsilon there? Because of E dash tends to epsilon. But you don't have epsilon as terminal. So if you have epsilon, you should go to the follow. If you have epsilon, you should go to the follow. If you have epsilon, I should go to the follow. Okay. So in follow of dollar and closing. So in dollar and closing, I should write that production E dash tends to epsilon. Okay, so if you have epsilon, I should go to follow and write that production. Then T. Why you got open and ID in first of T? Because of T tends to FT dash. So in ID and open bracket, I should write T tends to FT dash. So T tends to FT dash. Okay, then why you got star in T dash? Because of T dash tends to, so why you got star in T dash? Because you have T dash tends to star FT dash. So because of this production, T dash tends to star FT dash. So I will write for T dash for star, I will write T dash tends to for FT dash. Similarly, I have got epsilon in T dash. That is T dash tends to epsilon. So go to the follow of T dash plus dollar closing. In plus, then dollar and then closing, I should write T dash tends to epsilon. So I will have T dash tends to epsilon. Here also T dash tends to epsilon. Here also T dash tends to epsilon. Last but not the least, F is having open bracket and ID. Why you got open bracket in F? Because of F tends to open bracket E close bracket. Okay, and here I got because of F tends to ID. I got ID here. Okay. So this is your predictive parsing table, right? So since the table is not having multiple entries, okay, since there are no multiple entries in the predictive parsing table, the given grammar is in ll1. Okay, so this L stands for left to right scanning. This L stands for left to right scanning. Okay, and the second L stands for leftmost derivation. Okay, thank you, students.